I spent the majority of yesterday doing what is now becoming a very familiar drive down I-95, and not necessarily in the good way, but despite how chaotic that usually is, I am very happy to be back in the van. This time, I'm heading to Congaree National Park in South Carolina, which is actually one of the least popular parks in the entire country. But despite its mosquito-filled and swampy reputation, I'm interested to see what it's like down there for myself. I was really hoping that I could have made it to my next stop without getting more gas, but not quite. I am finally in South Carolina, and unfortunately it kind of looks like I'm not going to make it to Congaree until after sunset, but fortunately that makes me feel a little bit less guilty about the pit stop that I'm about to make. Okay, time for some dinner. Going in there is always really overstimulating and full of like people battling it out for a brisket sandwich, but man, it's so worth it. I have procured the Buc-ee's and the brisket. Very excited about it, and just gonna hang out for a little bit and make the final 90-minute drive to Congaree. God, I always forget just how cold it actually does get down here, especially at night. Last night it got down to 29. But it's warming up, and I'm gonna head inside the visitor center. I mean, part of the reason I came here when I did is to avoid the mosquitoes, and I guess the oppressive swamp humidity. So I just started the run on the river trail. It's actually part of a little bit of a network of boardwalk trails, but this is the longest one because it goes all the way across the width of the park to the Congaree River. And I feel like it would be a little silly if I didn't see the actual river the park is named after while I'm here. Well, I have officially left the boardwalk. It was fun while it lasted. So I'm headed to the river now. And at the very least, it's turning out to be a pretty nice day. Now that I'm deeper into the park, the trail has become more narrow and less maintained. It's pretty dry right now in December, but I can only imagine how muddy it is here during the spring and summer months. Although it is probably a lot greener. And if you like trees, this is the place to be. everywhere you look is surrounded by tall, looming cypresses. I'm approaching the river, but the trail is definitely getting a lot less defined and a lot more uneven, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't eat shit again like I did in Ohio. But let's see what we have up ahead. Well, it's very peaceful out here, both because of the river itself and the fact that I think I'm the only person on this trail right now. I was planning on continuing a little bit further down the trail before it loops back around, but considering the condition of things, I don't feel like twisting an ankle, so I think I'm just going to head back the way I came, back to the boardwalks and back to the visitor center. After 9 miles of trails, I hate to say it, but people's lack of enthusiasm for Congaree makes sense. It doesn't exactly have the sweeping views that you might expect from a national park, but if you look closely, there's definitely a lot to appreciate. Just got to the closest truck stop to take a shower, but there are 2 people waiting already. And the wait time is supposed to be like 30 minutes or 45 minutes. I don't really feel like doing that, so my god, what have I done? Well, I'm gonna have to go outside to rinse my hair off, but I need to put a shirt on over this, so do I feel clean? Not really, but I do feel better than I did. And I'm starting to get pretty hungry, so I think I'm gonna go find a place to have some dinner, and then I'll see how I feel after that. I ended my day at this spacious brewery located inside a repurposed airplane hangar, which was neat, even if I was basically the only one there. And watching the sunset out of the big bay windows, I was feeling very satisfied with my trail run today. But after some time to think about things, I came to a bit of a conclusion. Look, I've got to be honest with you. I was planning on staying here in South Carolina for one more day, but I think I'm going to leave a bit early. It's not necessarily anything against the park. I was fully planning to rent a kayak and do a little bit of paddling on the Cedar Creek, but I also have to drive to see my family in Florida tomorrow, and those 2 things just both can't happen on the same day. So I feel like I definitely saw enough of Congaree to say that I've been there, but I wished I could have given it a little bit more of a chance. Regardless, I think I'm a lot more excited to go down and see my family, so you'll have to forgive me, but I think I've seen all of Congaree for now. I was definitely a little disappointed in myself for not having spent more than just a few hours in Congaree. It made me worried considering what happened last year, where I made it all the way down to the Everglades just to freak out and head back home. But for now, my worries are on hold, and I'm ready to spend some time here in Florida with my family. On a more positive note, I am feeling very ready to head to the Everglades. I have plenty of time to spend there, and I think it should go a lot better than it did last year.